let's move back a little bit to museums as an industry as a whole.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with a few other people, and it seems like in the last 5 years specifically, we've seen a lot of mid-size and small businesses get eaten up by the bigger ones, whether that is banking. We saw some bankings collapse during, I think, 22 and 23.
Right.
They got eaten up by the big guys. We're seeing insurance carriers might be facing some of the same challenges with like the Palisade fires, which could be looking at $200 billion worth of damages.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think museums are going to go through a similar challenge where eventually we're going to have these big city museums coming up and they're basically buying out and supporting maybe these smaller town museums?
I don't see buyouts, but I see age outs.
Age out.
So museums, feasibility wise, economically, it doesn't make sense for a museum, for the most part, to come and say, hey, we know you're not succeeding. We could do it better. You're going under. We're going to take what you have, basically. That probably won't happen, at least from what I've seen.
Right.
But what will happen is interest wanes, funding dries up. Basically, they no longer cease to exist. And that's the hard part about the community development part that's kind of in your face. When you don't have that, that will happen. And they could be trying really hard, but it's that if you're not in tune, if you're not trying to actively seek what they want to be involved in, your audience doesn't want to come in.
I know it's easy to rag on the young generation.
Yeah.
But do you think younger folks right now have the interest to sustain small town museums?
Honestly, they have the benefit of change. If they embrace the fact that we have something unique in like our museum and they see the potential because of where they are and all the different things, like our museum could be made a whole social media personality. Like just having somebody walk around the museum and into rooms and being like, oh my gosh, look what I found. I mean, you look at what people do these days, the potential is there. But even though I see it personally, I might never get to that point. But if we have somebody who has gone to school for it, has a history background, the benefit to them is actually that they're in the younger generation that has grown up with all that technology and they're a little bit more comfortable with that part. And so if they can see the potential in manipulating it to be creative with it, it could be. I mean, there's a museum that that I follow, actually, that I found, and they are they have an old printing press, just like the one we have, and literally most of the videos are literally of just them making prints on their own printing press, and then they're talking about history references in the background.
It's kind of nifty.
It is kind of nifty. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. Is that not crazy?
That is crazy.
And they're a museum. I mean, the stuff that I see in their stuff is stuff that we have.
That's such a weird angle, like museum ASMR, because that's what I'm kind of imagining.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Creaking floorboards at night, going through rooms, opening doors, rummaging through stacks of collection items and paperwork, like paper. Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
That's a thing.
I know every now and then my wife will show me a video and it'll be of some family that went homesteading. They've given up regular life and they're trying to become Amish or something. Like, isn't this nice? It's like, yeah, it's nice.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's an appetite for that old fashioned kind of slow down.
It's the aesthetic of the sounds and the way it looks, for sure.
Add a little bit of storytelling.
Yeah. We could totally, I mean, it's 100% possible. It would not be hard to do. There's so much content there. It's not even funny. And the hard part for us that we have struggled with, that we're fixing now, I mean, I have 7 interns right now, is We don't know where anything is. We don't know where all the paperwork belongs to. We don't actually know. We know what we have, but we don't know exactly what we have. So from a data aspect, like a data background, I want to be able to say, I want to keyword search. I want to pull up pictures. I want to plan.
Right.
Because of our age, and we're a small town museum, it was the papers go in the pull out and you can go look for them upstairs. Right? It's fine. That's just the way it was. So trying to manipulate that a little bit so that the other things are possible is what we're working on.